everyone, and good evening panel members. Again, I will also have to rush because the time given is 5 minutes, so pardon me for the speed. So today's presentation is on the topic bringing process innovation for efficient bed management. The introduction goes like this, that we are a 400-bedded multi-speciality hospital. We have more than 90 admissions happening per day, which is a combination of both elective and emergency admissions. Bed availability has been an issue always, and we have got this in various patient feedbacks, various consultant feedbacks, and this is the time when a multidisciplinary team came together to sort out this issue. Can we move the presentation ahead? Okay, I have to. So the multidisciplinary team from various departments came together. We did a fishbone diagram to identify 26 main causes. Further moving to Pareto to identify 11 main factors to act upon. And this is how we did it in 3 steps. One was related to discharge, wherein the earlier consultant intimation would start the process, and we moved wherein only the stakeholders would know where the process is. We moved to a system wherein the complete discharge process was taken on a discharge tracker. If you see the picture down below, starting from the consultant informing the staff on floor that discharge has to be initiated, to the file ready, file handed over to billing, bill preparation, the financial clearance, and patient physically leaving the room. At this juncture also the patient would be intimated with the help of SMSs at critical steps like initiation of discharge, bill being ready, and then patient leaving the room physically. When we started, we had challenges in having implementation compliance to the discharge tracker, but with gradual motivation, 99% compliance was achieved to the discharge tracker. In the second phase, after the patient is physically discharged, there were multiple challenges that relatives or the patients would not leave the room for multiple reasons, waiting for transport, waiting for meals, waiting for further clarification on certain aspects. Now what we do is, so now we have started 2 SMSs. One is, once the patient moves physically, the intimation goes to the housekeeping staff. Hence the nurse does not need to intimate anyone about this step. And with this, the housekeeping staff, TAT, starts for room preparation. Having successfully achieved it for discharge, we then move to the second phase in terms of covering transfers, because the number of transfers were as many as the number of discharges in the hospital, and normally we tend to leave transfers in between. So in the third phase, the nurse would also inspect the room and would ensure coordination with different stakeholders for room preparation. But now we prepared a task force team comprising of a carpenter, painter, the engineer person, and who would go and quick fix the room. Marking is done as soon as the room is ready by the housekeeping staff and the engineering staff, and that would give an auto intimation to the admission and billing staff, who would then allot the bed to the waiting patient in line, and then the patient would also be intimated by means of an SMS that the bed is ready for allotment to them. So here what we have tried to do is that as much as possible stop the manual intervention and move to an automated system which is more transparent and time bound. To log the improvement, not only the turnaround times, but we also have captured the various steps like file preparation, billing, financial clearance, discharge, handover, and new patient arrival. These are real-time alerts which are going to the heads of the departments so that they can do timely intervention and not wait for patient complaints to come in. And also the room clearance stat has become a part of KRA of the housekeeping team, so they are very closely working on ensuring that the compliance is achieved. Cloning, we have already started implementing it at our second unit, and since the escalations have shown tangible results, we have also included in processes like call bell, where real-time alerts are going to the HODs in case the attendings are not in time. Tangible results, if pre-implementation the room preparation was 4 hours, now the cleaning time is average coming to 1 hour 25 minutes. 96% of our rooms are now cleaned within 2 hours, and the rooms which are crossing that are mainly due to terminal cleaning. In terms of transfer, from 13% we have moved to almost 60% compliance to TAT for transfer patients, and new patients are getting admitted within 4 hours. That has reached almost 78%. Patient satisfaction has improved. Nursing time has been saved around 12 hours per day, which can be used for patient care activities instead of coordination for non-clinical activities. And in terms of bed time, we save around 8 bed days, which amounts to around 36 lakhs per month. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bhavisha. Any questions from the audience? Yes, madam. Can we get a mic so that everybody can listen, please?
Yeah, I heard the question. I will say it for you. So, ma'am has asked that in phase 1, by how much we were able to reduce the discharge turnaround time. Is that correct? So, I would say in terms 25% reduction, and that was mainly achieved for pre-billing part, because then we have a major component of TPA billing as well, which is not in our hand. So what we are doing is whatever part is in our hand, in that we have achieved 25% reduction. So if our average was earlier 2 hours, 50 minutes or something, we have come down to around 2 hours, 5 minutes. Yeah. Can you please repeat?
Who are being paid through the cash. I totally understand they won't be able to do within 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay, it is very challenging job over here. Can you tell how about your hospital? Were you having any concerns?
For cash clearance, there are multiple steps involved. As in, we started educating the patient on 3rd day of their stay in the hospital, where a customer care person, we have a system generated automated list, where the person goes to the patient on the 3rd day of the stay and explains them about the discharge process. We also have a system wherein interim bills are released to the patient every day at the end of the day, so that if they have any queries, they can clear it within the next day. So what we are trying to ensure is that that ambiguity or any doubts are clarified well in advance before the discharge is processed, and not at the time of discharge. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Bhavisha. And I think one of the, okay, can we have one last question, please? Bhavisha, can you please say maybe one last question?
Sorry, yeah. So in our, sorry? So in our earlier system, once the patient leaves the room, the job was entrusted on the nurse. She would coordinate with, she would go to the room to start with. She would see the room is ready or not ready, or she may check in her own way. And then she would call up the respective departments like the housekeeping supervisor or the engineering person to quick fix a few things. And that would take some time, because in case we have to call a carpenter, so they have their own reporting time and response time. So what we have done is we have prepared a task force in the peak hours of the hospital, which is our peak discharge time between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So there is a team of 3 people who is readily available, and now nurse is not clearing the room. Now the housekeeping supervisor is clearing the room. So he goes and inspects, starting from taps of the room to the painting to the setup, and the team is already with him. But not all rooms may require carpentry work, not all rooms may require painting work. So he would allot those jobs to them, so that the quick fixing is done in a much quicker way. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, and thank you audience for the questions.